And now we're joined out of Ontario, Canada for more on the story by Mr. Jason Unruhe, political commentator and analyst. Hello, Jason. Thanks for joining us back in the program. Now, your thoughts on the accusations Maduro is making about U.S. intrusion in these elections?
Well, they're wholly and completely true. I mean, why else would you so selectively decide to place sanctions on certain individuals? This is a threat. If you vote for Nicolas Maduro, we are going to sabotage your economy. I think this sends a very severe and direct message, not only to the Venezuelan government, but to the Venezuelan people as well. And this is part of a larger sabotage effort. For example, in many Western countries, it has falsely been reported that people who decide not to vote for Nicolas Maduro and his party would have their ration cards removed, or if they were government employees, they would be fired. This is part of a larger effort to place a kind of pressure to spread rumors, to do all kinds of wrecking work in general towards the Maduro and his party, because they have been so staunchly against U.S. interests inside of the country. I mean, it's very clear that when the U.S. is targeting certain individuals, and many of them responsible for many of the goods and services that Venezuelan people use every day, threaten them with sanction if Nicolas Maduro wins, they're essentially telling the Venezuelan people, we will destroy your livelihoods, we will try to ruin your, we will make things more difficult for you if you do not vote in the way that we have told you to. And I think this sends that message very loud and clear.
Right, and this whole business of trying to attach Nicolas Maduro to illegal drug trade, I mean, there's a lot of things that they've, blasted him for, maybe the, heavy-handed to the opposition in the, whatever riots or whatever that were taking place in the street. There's a lot of things that they've, been able to level, try to level against Nicolas Maduro. But this is one thing that this seems unfounded. They have shown international community zero proof. This man, and doesn't really need to, engage himself in the illegal drug trade. He has enough money to carry out his campaign. Why would he do that?
Well, exactly. This is a straight-up lie by the United States. The Venezuelan party that Nicolas Maduro does belong to enjoys a majority of support among those people. They have been elected over and over again in elections that have been certified by international regulatory bodies who watch over this kind of thing. This accusation that somehow Maduro's party doesn't have the money to fund their campaign is frankly a blanket, is a statement made without any evidence whatsoever. And it's terribly ironic listening to the United States claim that Maduro's party is engaged in illegal drug trade when they are so heavily involved in the opium trade, particularly heroin, coming out of Afghanistan. This is stock and trade for the United States that continually use these kinds of slanders against governments that they are opposed to particular groups or individuals that are opposed to U.S. interests inside the country. So, I mean, this is the kind of even like wrecking work that they use against each other at home. So I'm not really surprised that they would use it against a South American country, given the South American legacy for drug production. But if there really was a link between Maduro, his party, and the drug trade, that's certainly something they should bring before an international body, if any such evidence exists at all.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Jason Unruhe, political commentator and analyst, joining us out of Ontario, Canada.